Hello everybody and welcome back to part 2 of our review of DJ Quik's Rhythm-Al-Ism, and this is the Classic Quest podcast, the show where we break down the classic hip-hop albums track by track and give you our thoughts and opinions on every song. My name is Holden, Stephan, Roy.
My name is... I was going to say my full name. Your lady friend Bonnie.
That's fair. We did part 1 where we covered the first 8 tracks of the album, and that's where all the intro stuff is. We just let y'all know we're not professionals. We just kind of some regular people going through the album track by track and all that. We literally just recorded part 1, so it's not one of those ones where part 1 and part 2 are recorded differently. Sorry, there's no comments now.
Yeah.
But there was something I forgot to say. There was this sound at the end of We Still Party that when I was listening to it on my headphones literally sounds like a stomach gurgling in the background. This is like raw, raw, raw sound. But to me, maybe I was hungry when I was hearing it. But it just sounded to me like a stomach gurgling. And I meant to say it, and I completely forgot. And I wanted to throw that in now if we could. But like I said, we already did 8 tracks, which means there's basically 8, but really 7 more to talk about because the last one's an instrumental. Spoilers! So we're going to get on and not do any speed because we don't do amphetamine. This is one of the coolest songs on the album. Damn, I forgot we can't swear at the beginning. I'm going to hopefully remember to edit that out. Still, the beat's just upbeat and it's just bopping and you're just like this energy. And evidently with the name of the song, you know he's going to come in with a quick flow, and he absolutely does. But it's not like obnoxiously quick, because I realized there is such a thing as too fast from an enjoyment point of view if you want to vibe to it. I'll throw on Tech 9 if I want to like turn up or like mosh out or whatever. There's a vibe to that, but you just can't get the kind of smoothness that you're getting here for... Like, this is like a, I don't know, as I get older, I'm much more into this kind of not too fast, but still quick and tricky, right? And this to me is a little bit more impressive because I think it's harder to do it at the 75% speed than it is at the 100% speed, because at the 100% speed, there's really no room. You're just doing it full capacity, and there's not as much room for noticeable trickery. It's not like you can play as much with the nuances of the timing and stuff. Kind of like how in part 1, when I was describing how his rhythm and stuff just randomly changes. Like, that kind of stuff is more jarring when you're at top speed than when you're in this zone that he's playing in here. And I thought it was really cool. But yeah, lyrically it's fine. I don't know if he... As we discussed in part 1, for those who are just and only watching part 2, his lyrics are very obvious in the sense of what they are. He's very much into the ladies, very much into the flossing, and I think he's pretty cool with that. My favorite part of his verse, in the first verse at least, is I never rode a pony, but I'm genuine, which is, I believe, a reference to a track that I don't know, so that could date it.
Genuine pony.
Right. So give me just a little bit of nicotine and the sticky green, and I'm going to hit it with the icky cream. I'm like, that's fair. Got a little ciggy cig, a little marijuana stick, and smash that jizz all over her face. Booyah, I hit her on the neck with the wet and made the hooker jump with a safety net. And I found out that back in the 90s, apparently hooker didn't mean prostitute, it meant slut. And then somewhere along the way, though, we learned hooker as prostitute. And this is something I learned recently. And it re-changes a lot of... I mean, at least in 92 or 91, when we did our last album, or some album recently I talked about, hooker was brought up, and somebody in the annotations on Genius made sure that we knew that this wasn't prostitute, because it was the song with on the last week's album with the grandpa talking to the kid, and he's like, yeah, the hookers at the party. And it was weird if they were prostitutes, you know, but like it kind of makes sense that they're just regular hoes, you know?
All right.
I don't know. So I'm not sure which he meant. Either way, then he goes, when I'm on speed, I'm faster than most, and I can rock a potty from coast to coast. And I'm like, speed, eh? Just doing some drugs here to stimulate his brain. And that's fair. He's allowed. I know some people who have done speed and told me that a 4-hour DJ set on speed is the easiest thing in the world to do when you're on speed. Maybe not so easy when you're not on speed. Anyway, so he's flowing 124 beats per minute at Rockwell. That's actually a pretty fast pace to Rockwell. Most of the rappers play around that 106-ish kind of range, even slower. Sometimes they'll go as slow as 95. So 124 is pretty quick. As I'm tight to the second power when I hit the liquor, and I don't serve MCs, I serve dickers. I'm like, what does that mean? Does that mean you give dick to the ladies instead of it? Anyway,
I
bang
don't
bang boogie when I hit a shot of loogie and a booger tried to put it on me and I got bed moves to float her. I float it like Noah and I stick her with the thigh like a boat. And I'm like, okay, whatever. What he's saying isn't as fun as how he's saying it. I'll be honest with you. Then AMG jumps on, kills it. Basically, they got girls, they're enjoying life. Hit the weed and then turn the speed up. So I don't know if it's that they're doing drugs and like weed and alcohol speed them up or they're actually doing speed, but it kind of sounds like speed as in the drug. But it also kind of sounds like not. Like, in my opinion, it's an 50-50 on whether or not he actually means speed. Because it could just be that they were, like, turned up. And going, yeah, like, we're fast now. We're flying when I'm on speed. So I don't know when speed got popular. In 98, I was 10, okay? I was like, my hands are small, I know. But, you know, that's the kind of vibes we had back then.
You were crying to Jewel at 10 years old. I was doing that at like 16. Like,
but that's when it was
like,
new, all over the radio.
Like, I guess so.
Like that was like a safe song. I remember one of the elementary school concerts that we did.
See, 1998, I was listening to Shania
one of the
Twain.
groups sang that song and had like the lyrics up, and I remember that. Anyway, I gave this song 4.75. I love the energy. I love the beat. I love the way it feels. It's just a really cool standout track for me. And then I agree, things change.
Okay. So, yeah, this was definitely, I think he's definitely on drugs because I found that this one sounded different from like a lot of other typical rap songs. Like the beat it sounds like it would be more for like a rock song or something like that. Like it doesn't necessarily feel rappy somehow. And it feels a little bit more somber, like almost like they are on drugs, but like they're like in like the drug, you know, like you're kind of like, I don't know, it feels more trippy, I guess. I don't know, there's something about it that makes me feel like it's a little bit more down. And yes, he can go faster than most, and this song clearly like demonstrates it. And I mean, that's his name. And I didn't necessarily know if it was like, you know, if he's talking about like just when he's rapping, or if he's also talking about when he is DJing, like if he can like DJ like really quickly. I don't know if that's a thing that you can do, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I felt about this one. Like I feel like it was like sometimes I liked it and sometimes I wasn't like a super huge fan of it. But it's really interesting to listen to, that's for sure. So I gave it a 4.2 on 5.
Yeah, it's way better than that. However,
Maybe.
We're gonna talk about something completely different now. Because Bonnie, whatever you do, I still think you're great.
It's because I'm great.
That's you, the way your eyes sparkle when I bit your tattoo. You're rugged but soft, baby, you're subtle.
I don't know that I'm the right gender for this song. Like, I don't think I'm who it's for. I mean, the intro, come here, Miss Lady. Check it out. Well, meet me halfway there now. Damn, check this. Look, I already know your name is Sheila because I've seen you in front of Players magazines in the main edition, and if it ain't gonna kill you to give me your number, it's happening. Can we hook up later or something? Thank you. I'm like, oh no. Because beneath that is this smooth-ass romance jazz. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right in the spirit of I'm not ashamed of Big Daddy Kane, my new favorite romance song. Like, that's got the #1 spot. And I feel like Whatever You Do by DJ Quik is trying to compete in that territory of corny. And
I don't think he's trying to be corny. I think he's just trying to get laid.
I agree. But that by being corny.
I suppose.
Because he's trying to go for the ladies like this one. I like the way you don't say much. And when the homies give you your phone numbers, you don't stay in touch. Because you like me better. And I like that you have some integrity. And he literally goes on to describe how he likes how she has integrity and doesn't put it out right away, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I know you recognize I'm young and I'm gifted and black. That should be enough to have you sprung and fidgety in your cat. Get it? Because he's young, a talented black man. Your pussy's supposed to get gushy. And you play it off swell.
Somebody's going to make a rap song with that.
That's already been done. See if I'm going to give it up on the pursuit of your tail. And even if you knew it ain't all I wanted was just a bone, I'm still detecting ego tripping, baby. You own it. So he's so into her. And then Knighton sings this, or Dionne, whatever you do, you make me want to touch myself. And then it's like, okay, that's what we're doing. So DJ Quik's so smooth, and then he's letting the ladies know now you're supposed to be that excited about him. And okay, so he flows in. Second verse, he's rapping, and he wants to take her to spa with nothing on but your panties and bra. And I'm like, okay, this is fine. He's just, you gotta like pleasure and pain with your navel pierced. But I appreciate you, lady, because you're making me wait. And even though that little game you playing is much out of date, I'm going to save it to the next time, and I hope you will too, because I like the way you do what you do, baby girl. So all of a sudden, DJ Quik's willing to wait. He's not trying to get in it. He's a romantic. He's holding out to the next time. And then Will Hudspeth goes, whatever I do, make you want to touch us. And I'm like,
I was just like, is this guy just like hanging around while he, like DJ Quik and this other girl are like banging it out, and he's just like narrating it? Like
it was a
little bit weird. I was like,
who's
who's this guy? What is he doing here? This is an intimate moment.
And then DJ Quik's back, and he's kind of, because my love is like fire and ice, and I'm like bittersweet. Me and my peaches, and you and your pretty feet, knowing that if I lick it and tell me when I get closer, while I'm urging you to drink this mimosa, because you know that I got the skills to make them crazy legs spasm by helping you reach multiple orgasms. And then you're like, what are you trying to say there? And then I'm like, wow, DJ Quik, you were really laying it on thick on how you were going in and whatnot. And Lil Wayne did this to great success too. So it is an effective strategy with women to write songs about how you're going to pleasure them.
Well, I mean,
it's better.
I'm sure it works.
And it's a better move than you gotta suck my dick, but I want to eat your pussy, which is the regular game ran by most rappers. Versus DJ Quik talking about multiple orgasms, and you actually kind of believe he's serious about it, And he'll be there in 20 minutes, and then, we're only at about 3 minutes and 45 seconds now, and the track's 8 minutes fucking long, and then it's 5 minutes of just smooth jazz romance crap until the chorus comes in at the very end again, and you're like,
yep.
Is this the same album, Bonnie? I was like, what just happened? What is this? What is this outro? Why is this song 8 minutes long?
It's okay. So this is okay. Well, you finish up and then I'll talk.
I gave this a 4.25 because it's pretty. He's rapping really well, and I appreciate the fact that he didn't try to do no cheesy thing. Like his delivery on the verses is sincerely what he's been doing the whole album. Everything about this just turned the cornball right the fuck up, though.
Yes. So I think it's okay. So it's 7 minutes 47 seconds. So I think it's either, these are my two opinions on what this is. So we have him like talking about what he's going to do and all this stuff, and then there's that instrumental. And I think that that's probably like, the 4 minutes there is when he's banging her. And that's pretty much it.
May I just interject? I do believe he fucked to this song in particular. Like, this was a song he wanted to fuck to.
Yeah. So I think that this is, or just the entire song is just the sex song. Like, this is just, like, you have 7 minutes and 47 seconds to have sex, and,
Which,
whatever you do.
If I'm not mistaken, is the approximate average length sex actually lasts for.
So just saying, just put this song on, bang it out. It's one song, guys. Just do it. No. He's basically just talking about this girl and how she plays the game and how he likes that and how he keeps pursuing her, and he wants this. He kind of sweet talks her and he's gonna treat her right. He just wants to bang her, I think, in the end. And then she's like, ooh, I'm gonna touch myself, and ooh. It basically sounds like his fantasy.
But it's cool that his fantasy.
Like,
yeah, but like, look at how his fantasy plays out for a quick second.
There's another guy involved.
Yeah, true. But like, basically, he's saying, "I respect your consent."
Sure. Yes. Yeah.
Does he not? I mean, he does say it's a little old-fashioned. Girls are more eager these days, but I respect that and almost admire it, and I will play by your rules, which in 2019 is apparently, an important thing to state.
I think always, Yeah. But anyways,
but the fact that DJ Quik was putting that message out into the world, and he seems to be a very respectful, decent fellow, and I think that's just worth pointing out.
I agree. So yeah, anyways, he likes, he wants to hook up with this girl and he wants to give her multiple orgasms, and he's obviously, talented in the bedroom, or at least he comes off as he is. And turns her on no matter what he does, and it basically sounds like a cheesy, like I couldn't place whether I thought it was like 60s or 70s, but like a cheesy old school song. It's good though, but it is kind of long, but I understand like it's like intention. So I gave it a 4.3 on 5.
Okay. The next track definitely is similar themed, but Bonnie, I'm thinking about you.
Okay, that's good.
Rainy days, it was sad cause it wasn't about who you was, but what you had.
So let's look at this track for what it is. It's your regular old I'm Thinking About You girl song, except it's not. It's more like the Ice Cube version of what the song would be. Like, girl, you didn't like me once upon a time, so fuck you. That's like, there's a few Ice Cube songs kind of like that. Yeah. This is how you do it with some class, in my opinion, because it's really snarky. I don't know how to say this in a politically correct way, but there are definite stereotypes of snarky people that this would very much lay into in that queendom of the certain communities over there. That that's what the level of sass we're getting here is pretty high, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Anyway, so he describes in the first verse, I used to watch you walk to class, fine as can be, while I'm standing here with KK and D, and I did a little bit of everything to get your attention, and you didn't like me, So he was super into her, and she liked rich guys, but he couldn't get her. So now he's sitting in my room, thinking about you, reminiscing on the kinky things we didn't do. I said I'm sitting there, and I'm like, this is really funny because I actually relate to this as probably many other young men do. More young men, I think, relate to this than the version where you get the girl.
Not getting laid.
Yeah, but to not getting that particular girl that you really wanted. It's not getting laid. It's not getting the apple of your eye while she's busy chasing after other guys. I think in high school, many of us wanted a girl, and she wanted somebody else. And when we were alone in our rooms, we were reminiscing on the kinky things that we didn't do, because teenage boys are disgusting people. And then, called on the telephone, babies. David, the last you gave a chance is the first to save it. I'm just trying to hook us up for another session because I haven't learned my lesson. Plus, I got positive never endings. And it sounds like maybe she's toying with him, or maybe she's playing with him a little bit, or maybe not. I don't know. Either way. And it just doesn't work out, and then it just flips into now I'm rich, and now you kind of wish you could had me, but whatever, it's time for fun. You got me blowing up your pager with 911's how, so show me a little affection. Hurry up before I lose my erection. And I guess it's just like he changes the tables a bit and goes, well, now that I'm rich, I have all the power, and you will want me, so that's kind of what it is. And the song is just kind of that. I used to want you, but haha, now that I am the desirable thing you wanted, you have to work for me, or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like, but I'm also kind of left with, wow, the level of like super interesting on this album has really like dipped. The sound of the album has maintained its quality in terms of enjoyable listening music.
Yeah.
The lyrical content, I'm like, is this the same project? I'm like, it's okay. It's an interesting twist on a cheesy love song, in my opinion. It's comical because that chorus is really funny. The chorus is the absolute saving grace of the song, but I give it a 4.25.
Yeah. This one is, it's again, same sort of thing. Like, it's a good song. It's definitely not my favorite off the album. And just basically about a girl that never gave him a chance, and it's kind of slow, and he's kind of sounding a little bit more like Snoop here. And he kind of mentions David is his real name, so like that's always cool when they do that, and they kind of like switch out of their persona, or they're talking about like in their real life, kind of like what people call them. And he's just kind of like whatever, like he's you blew him off all these times and just wouldn't give him a chance, and now he's like super successful, and he's kind of like, I bet you regret not banging me and blowing me off all the time. So I give it a 4 on 5. For me, it was okay. It was good.
All right. The next one is another curveball to me, but quality curveball as we talk about L's Interlude.
But all I need is a girl like you to make me
So this is one of the tracks where on that interview thing I already kind of described what happened here. And I suppose you gotta remember on a song that has no DJ Quik vocally that this is his production work. And he really is contributing as an artist or whatever. And I guess when like 2 years ago, I would have been like, this is stupid because DJ Quik's not there. But like, I've kind of just really appreciate that his contribution is actually there, and it's featuring DeBarge and, you know, whatever. And then this is when I was talking about how, like, to him, this is almost like a dream come true, or because basically this were like his people that he was bumping their music and feeling their stuff and macking the girls and whatever on them, and then to be able to produce something in their style, it was very different from what he had previously been doing per se. So this was like venturing into new territory while working with like his like childhood legends and whatnot.
Right.
So I was very enthused with that. However, the lyrics weren't online. And it's basically just a beautifully produced song of singing and loving, and it's fine. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's really not something I would ever go out of my way to listen to because I don't really listen to that ever. So I'm not that interested in sappy R&B sounding love songs. I'm just not into it. It's not poorly composed, though. I would like to say that the instrumental work is brilliant. It's so brilliant that I could admit that it's that good. Only that I don't like it that much. Lyrically, we got, there comes a time in every man's life where he must take a girl home, and I don't know, baby, I've been thinking about you. You mean a lot to me. Giving it up, and I couldn't. I was just like, I'm done.
Yep.
This is not really something I'm enjoying in terms of the lyrics. It's sappy sap. Listen, man, these guys probably smash more girls than a lot of people, and they did well. If I were a single man, don't be 100% shocked if a song like this appears on something I do. Of course, it's gonna do what it does, and it's gonna do it well.
Yep.
But it's not for me, in my opinion. It's for Joe Budden, though. Joe Budden probably would really like this song, but I am not Joe Budden. 4 on 5.
Yeah, this one is definitely not for me either. It's definitely more slow, and for me, at least personally, like, okay, now that you've said that, I didn't realize that, you know, this was like his like dream song to be working with them and all that stuff. So I mean, like, that's really cool on his part, but for me, the listener, without any like context of that, like, it felt a little filler for me. Like, it didn't feel like, I don't know, like, it felt like, you know,
it is an interlude.
Yes, it's an interlude, but I feel like at, you know, when there's only like 3 songs left, I don't know if you would necessarily need to do that. But anyways, it's like, I just feel like it didn't need to be there, or maybe it was just like bad placement or something about it. I didn't really like it. Like, I would skip it every time. So I give it a 3 on 5.
Yeah, I don't really think it's all that fun. But we can move on then to one that I think is supposed to be more fun. It's called Medley For A.
Yep.
The Pussy Medley.
Hard, and I got $1 million banked out on my credit card. No disrespect or no.
I have a question. Is it just that all of DJ Quik's prior albums had no songs about women? Because what album is Snoop Dogg? It's not this album. Snoop Dogg cannot be talking about this album, which is full of songs about ladies.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he's referring to whatever, but he can't, because how G1, I've been listening to this Quik album, I was like, he's making it sound like the very album we're listening to.
Maybe it was like one of his prior albums. Like, I'm just trying to think. Like, I have listened to like a bunch of his music, but I don't know that I've necessarily listened to like an entire album. So I couldn't tell you if
I don't know. The way Snoop worded it got me wondering. Anyway, so.
Or maybe he's just saying it ironically.
And then maybe that could also be the point. That's Snoop Dogg's that kind of stoner. Let up from the east side, Long Beach, dog pound, beat the pussy till it's soft and mushy. I love that bushy, and most still do. Unless that bitch shit smell like mildew. Will do damn near anything to get it, and once I got it, I'm outie. Stay about it. I sip a little tea and light up my weed. I'm like, so Snoop Dogg enjoys smashing some hairy vaginas that don't smell bad, and then
Yep.
sitting back with a nice cup of tea and some weed. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Anyway, he promotes safe sex with the rubber.
Yep.
And he just flows through, and it's okay. It's clever, and it's quirky. And Snoop Dogg really does a decent job, but it really is just a long-ass verse about fucking.
Yeah.
Then Nate Dogg comes in. You can't be my lady, but I'll let you be my playmate. And I'm like, that's fucking funny. Then High C raps, and he's alright. I guess he doesn't want to have the condom break because that's a problematic situation. Whatever. Yep. AMG comes in. She goes, where you been? I said, in your mouth. If you're looking for love, take me down south, and I'll tell you all the things that make you laugh and giggle while I insert my 8-inch shaft up in your tender vittles. I'm like, damn, that's really creative. Very creative. And I mean that sincerely. I much prefer the way these guys rap about sex than a lot of other people. A hot pocket, Snoop Dogg told me to stop it. He heard me in the other room banging her womb. And baby better do. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, anyway, I moved on from that part. And it's pretty fun. Like, it's got an interesting experience. You just picture them all at the house smashing women, and Snoop's like, I want to get some. I want some. You can't have sex if I'm not having. I'm drinking my tea. Nate Dogg just sounds amazing. He just always does. Rest in peace, Nate Dogg. Gangsta D and KK do their thing, and honestly, it's totally fine. First, the bitch want to dig to the tonsil. Second and third want to fuck on the console. My fourth start to leak the double shoot shot while my money maker waiting to stroll from a knot. Got that bitch smelling fresh cock. And I'm like, yeah. She sucked his dick.
Yay.
I don't know. And then it's done. Then DeBarge sings at the end, and he's gonna get. And then DJ Quik ends the song with reverse vocals. Of course he does. Mm-hmm. Allow me to read it to you in case you didn't know what it said. In the words of DJ Quik, haha, now I still be knocking bitches like it ain't shit. Almost 10 years later, but I still slang dick, and my penis is like Venus, it's far away. And it's not butter, baby, more like parquet as we bounce to the city that you used to know, the CPT with AMG and all the bitches roll. We gon' fly all the way, G-ride, as we dip, die, I shoot it in your eye. I have shot common girls' eyes before, they always get mad at you. Cause pussy ain't kind to me, and my nuts, when they hang, they be okay to me. Cause I'm a fly type of, yeah, it's bigger. If you seen it on the motherfucking microscope, it's bigger. Fair point. No matter how big your dick is, binoculars, whatever, your dick will be super big. Ha 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 ha. In reverse like a motherfucker. Thank you. Because you can't hear it because it's... Anyway. Watching motherfuckers crash on that ass. Police videos. Fucking all these hoes. I don't sunset with the hoes and shit. The pimps, girls, and the prostitutes. The prostitutes running from the police. It ain't nothing but a 3P on me, Mr. Dante. Baby, don't you see? Can we flip the shit back over? Let me hear it. I like the reverse. Sounded good in my ear. Crazy. This shit is crazy. And that's when the song ends. Yep. I'm giving this a 4.25 because it's a very adequate but not that enjoyable to me pussy song.
Yep. This is definitely the pussy song, and you know, and according to Snoop, there has to be one on this album. So in case you didn't have it enough already, here's another one. So, but I do appreciate that he like talks about wearing condoms, and he says, we won't get no radio play, but probably get some pussy for this. What you say? I said we won't get no radio play, but we probably get some pussy for this. So this is literally a song just to get laid to. Like, this is for no other reason. They don't care if guys don't like this song. This is for the ladies. This is gonna get them laid. So, I mean, this is just another, like, ridiculous, funny song about, you know, having sex, fucking, getting their dick sucked, all of the things that guys want. So,
yeah.
I also get a 4.25. I mean, it's fine.
You also enjoy those activities. And why don't we move on to the next track as we talk about Bombudd II. This is the marijuana song where it's got the spaced out, flowy things. He's got almost like a stonery kind of, like he's playing to it.
Ganja?
Sometimes I smoke and I feel overjoyed. Sometimes I smoke and I feel paranoid. Sometimes I smoke and I not feel a thing. Sometimes I smoke and I'm going insane. You got that ganja. And then I learned about this sensei business. So no, there was some type of weed I learned about. Maybe it was the sensei, or maybe it was on a different review. But lately I learned about how basically there's weed where they cut the plant off from being able to reproduce, so it never grows seeds. So it's seedless weed, and that creates like a higher potency and whatnot. And it's super rare because in theory that's the end of that plant. It's like lifeline. So you don't really want to do that because you kind of want to get seeds so you can keep reproducing the plant.
Right.
So anyway.
Okay.
I was just learning, I guess. Either way, I don't remember which one it was, but there was some kind of weed like that. And there's not lots of his song. He just smokes because it helps you kind of get through life. Oh, it's Sweet Sinsemilla. That's the weed that has the no seeds and everything. I read the whole wiki page and I was like, that's a real thing. How do I find it? I don't think it exists in Montreal. And if it does, let me know. If you're in Montreal, I'm just saying. It's not for me. It's for friends. Just let me know.
Okay.
Either way, I gave this track a 4.25 because it's a nice, airy, like, weed song, but there's not many people whose names aren't Bone Thugs and Harmony who are making weed songs I want to listen to, and that's just facts. So 4.25.
See, that's the difference between you and me. I feel like there's weeds. I love weed songs. I like listening to like reggae. I don't know, something about like how they sound. They're often pretty good and like enjoyable and like relaxing to listen to. Like I don't have any like, you're like, I'm walking to work and I'm like, I've been listening to this particular song has been on one of my most popular playlists for years, and so I really like this song, and it actually is about something other than just smoking weed. Yes, it is about smoking weed, clearly, and this is about like his experience smoking weed, and this is about his friend Jake, who died. And Jake used to like have really good weed, and so he smokes weed, you know, to him, I guess, sort of like as like a tribute to him. So he's just kind of like, he had really good weed and let's remember him, and this is his friend Jake. So I gave this a 5 on 5 because I must like this song if I listen to this song all the time. So I enjoy it
All the time. I haven't even heard you listen to it once.
That's because you don't listen to what I listen to.
And that's because she got all these freaking wireless silent headphones, and now she just blocks me out and pretends
Perfect.
like it's not nice.
Don't get it twisted, trick. We ain't no slackers. They ain't got time to play Hollywood squares with.
All right, Bonnie, how does the last song on this album feel to you?
Well, this is definitely the crew track, and you know they're just talking about like how they're a cool crew and that they like having sex, and that it's just a fun song. I feel like for me, like this one was smooth. It didn't really say too much. It was just nice to listen to. We've got like a whole bunch of guys here. I mean, most of the time crew tracks don't necessarily like make it to like the top of like the grade, but I give this a 4 on 5.
I mean, I thought it was nice because, like, it kind of changed it up. And at the very least,
a bit more, like,
this
upbeat.
is not a shitty romance song, and it's not a B-side Bone Thug song. Look, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. The last song was nice. I just have a vendetta against weed songs, maybe, in the way that she likes them. She also likes songs with gunshot sounds in the beat. Put a gunshot sound in the beat, instant 5. But yeah, and this is a cool track in the sense that it is about camaraderie. And if you look at this, like, this is the last track on the album, because it kind of is in terms of vocals and stuff, and it's kind of a nice tone to end off on this unity front. Like, you know, everybody want to know where we been, what we doing, do we still like each other, bitch, we motherfucking brothers, and it don't stop till the coochies drop and bust a nut in a hoochie's eye. And I'm like,
why do you keep doing that, sir?
well, because when you're giving girls facials, it's hard to aim. Like, I don't care who you are. How do you freaking aim when you're in blast mode? You're not worried about that. You're just worried about getting it on her face.
The girl's worried about it all the time.
Close your eyes. Simple as that. Anyway, so this is AMG's verse, and I thought it was cool though because it starts off like, listen, it doesn't matter what you think. Of course we cool, we squad, we doing our thing, and you know we're in for the girls, and we're just gonna keep rolling with it. Gangsta D sounds dope. He does his thing. I don't think he said anything that I thought was super cool, but I like the crackers, jackers, mackers, slackers rhyme scheme. I thought that sounded nice. It just came up and it was fresh. KK sounds dope too. He's not playing no Hollywood Squares or nothing, but the only stars high in the sky. And I like that because Hollywood Squares is stars, so it's a smart pun. And I want to like point out why these guys have talent and whatnot.
Yep.
Totally fine. Haters, don't you crew try to separate. It's the kid, but still ain't nobody faded. And I like the fact that he's pointing out that haters can't break them up and whatnot. High C shows up. His verse is fine. DJ Quik jumps in. His verse is fine. They go back and forth a little bit. And it's just kind of, nice. It's kind of a lot of what we got. And we're coming up to the end of the album. And I don't know that a whole lot is like really being added here, in my opinion. But that doesn't take this is more from the reviewer in me, not the person listening to the album. Because at that perspective, I'm like, it just is a nice ending that kind of feels right with the long shout outs and everybody's together. And we're together again. And that seems to be like the message, this unity thing. And I think driving that home on repeat over the cool beat, you kind of have a clappy flow to it. Mm-hmm. It's nice. It's a cool way for the album to more or less end. So for that, I gave it a 4.25 because I do think it's a cool track, but it is the Posse song and it kind of just like is what it is, right?
Yep.
It's not like we've gone back to that level. Like since Speed, I feel like we've taken a complete quality dip in the album in my enjoyment and it went in a different direction. But he did kind of describe it where he wanted to make this album in almost phases. And if you look at it, it's like you got kind of a certain, like, I care about shit phase. This is who we are. Yep. Mixed with, like, this, I don't know, we floss in, we bang in, and then all of a sudden they do some ecstasy or something, and they're just in love for the rest of the album.
Yep.
Anyway, there is one more to talk about. It's the Reprise, Medley for a V. So we took like the beat for the Medley for a V, and it sounds like this is the jam session where he's just improvising and freestyling and having a lot of fun, and he just took that beat and made it an alive, really super awesome couple minutes to just kind of let you chill and settle on and remember the good times of banging girls and squad and camaraderie and stuff. I like this actually more than the one with vocals on it. I know it's not often I'll say that, but this is just really great produced. Like, it's so fun to listen to. This character and the way he uses the guitar to be a lead guitar, almost playing the role of what vocals does, which is kind of what lead guitarists do in solos. They're taking over the role of vocals in the track for your attention. So I thought that was pretty fresh. Overall, I'm giving this a 4.25 because I don't have a lot more to say. It ends the album out in like a palate cleansy kind of way, and that's about all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, like this would be like, like the end credits or whatever, like the beat that, plays over it, or like the song that plays over it, and it's just cool, and it is a beat, but like, again, like, it's, you have to remind yourself that it is, he is a DJ, and, it is something that he's created, and this is also part of his art that he makes, and so I liked it. I thought that this was nice. I also gave it a 4.25. I mean, it's cool, and I suppose it's to make up for the Vagina song.
Alright, so that brings us to the end of this review of DJ Quik's Rhythm-Al-Ism album. I thought it was really cool, a fun experience to listen to. I gave it a 4.3625, but had it not been for the last 6 songs, it was trending at closer to a 4.5. It was like 4.47. And I feel like up until a point, it's in like classic territory, and then the girl stuff comes in. I don't mean that so like the girl stuff. I mean it like he just went over the top with it, and you know what? And it's almost like when they said, we know this won't get radio play, but we'll get laid. I mean, it just seems like this album
like it was more for them
to get laid than it was, because they already got money. So this is like, we're gonna, and then set the way, like, why don't we make the West Coast more fun kind of thing? Why don't we make the vibe like this? And it's cool in that regard. But the way the album closed out, I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like it's like 2/3 of awesome mixed with 1/3 of I would turn this off. And that's the actual truth. There's nothing past Speed I would actually go back to and listen again. But up until Speed, it's almost pretty much a solid, great experience in my opinion. And that's all I got to say about that, because it's a cool album. And I'm glad I listened to it because it was really fun. And it was like by track 2, I was like, wow, Dusty, this is like an enjoyable experience. Like sometimes it was in an album and you get anxious or whatever, but it's the kind of album where you can like kick back, relax, and just kind of enjoy yourself.
Yeah. I gave this a 4.296 on 5, so that's basically a 4.3, and it's a 85.9, so basically 6%. So I mean, I really liked it. I was really looking forward to listening to this song. When I first listened to DJ Quik, or found his music, like I was listening to like a bunch of his stuff, and I was like, this guy, like whatever he makes is great. And so like he really is, he's a legend, I think, and I think it was about time that we do one of his albums. But I don't know. I think this album has like some great hits on it and some interesting songs, but there are some that kind of like fall off the the tracks or whatever. Like, so I don't know. I like the song. I mean, what are your thoughts? Like, if you guys like it or not? But I think it's cool, and I think he's a really cool guy.
So you can tell us whatever your thoughts are in the comment section, positive, negative, whatever it may be. And if you do leave a comment, I will answer, positive, negative, whatever it may be.
He's definitely talented. Yeah.
Sometimes I answer comments at 6:30 in the morning. That's not a good idea. But if you do like the video, we would super appreciate the like, and we would super appreciate if you'd subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And if you leave comments for a year, we might even just do your review like that.
There you go.
Special thanks to the patrons: Milka Dempsey, Chris Prado, Jonathan Barnes, DJ Black Hurricanes, Lindell Williams, Coney Sparks. They're pretty dope. They support what we do. They helped us a lot. They got us a new camera. They're soon going to be paying for our website, which is going to help us do a couple of interesting things, at least on a Montreal level. So for those of you on the Patreon team in Montreal, you know what's up. Or maybe you don't. You'll find out what's up. If you want to support us and you think this real shit, this anti-fancy crap we have going on is cool, you can do so on Patreon. We're like not even trying to floss like we're cool. We're just trying to be real and grow and learn. So if that's what you're about, that's what we're about.
Yep.
And I make music. You can check that out in the description of this video. Let us know what you think about that. Yeah, that's the end of the review.
Yep.
Have a great night. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Live long and prosper.
Or not.